Welcome to Joyfido International. So how are you feeling today? I'm feeling great. I hope you are feeling great. Otherwise, don't worry about it because we're going to fix all of that. That's what Joyfido International is all about. It's about empowering your greatness. And you know what we say here? We all have greatness in us. Every one of us. There is not one person that's left out of the gift of greatness. God gave every one of us something unique, something great. But because we don't know what it is, we normally feel down and feel left out and feel down, beaten and broken. And then before you know it, life is over. And then they go, "Who? That one's gone too." Now, one of the biggest things I want all of us to get is we are on a journey in this life. Every one of us is on a journey. And the journey is not for us to come here and feel this is it. Earth is not home. But see, while we're here, we have to make the best of it, knowing that one day the journey will be over. So as usual, today's topic is going to be everyone is on a different journey. Everyone is on a different journey. And our different journey works on different wavelengths. Wow! What an amazing message! Because you see, the way these things happen to me, I get the messages. God just tells me. I know it's God. Because the way the message will come, it just hits me. And I'm like, whoa. And that's when you start hearing, I can see clearly now. This is a book by a man called Dr. Wayne Dyer. I can see clearly now. And you know, because of the kind of books I get, these messages come really quickly. This is another interesting one, As a Man Thinketh. It's a really, really tiny book. But the messages you get from it are profound. This is another interesting one. Man's Search for Meaning. And of course, if you're used to me, you're on part of this channel, The Biology of Belief. And of course, there's so many more books. If you look there, you see them, and so many more that are all over the house. We are all on a different journey. When you get that message, you're going to realize why. You don't need to wake up any day getting angry at what somebody else did to you, or what another person around you has just done, or what you're expecting. Because this was one of the biggest ones I personally struggled with. Expectations. Expectations is when you expect that this person should do this because they are. And usually, what are these? What are these R's? They are your daughter. They are your best friend. They are your son. They are your husband. They are your wife. They're your mother. They're your father. They're your relatives. So they should and they ought. And that becomes expectations. And you see what happens with expectations? You get disappointed. Oh my world, as my mother she ought to have, and now she didn't do it, so now I'm so upset. As my best friend she should have, and she didn't do it, and so I'm wound up. And so this carries on. And then we begin to struggle. And you know what happens? Sometimes they call it emotional intelligence, or you know, we have in all these ones we call mental health, well-being. All these things connect, and they all add up. together, coin it. I say protect your mess. Protect your mess. You know how you wake up and oh, what a mess, what a mess. Yeah, but what is this mess that I say people should protect? Your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. You need all of them together to make you this strong person that can cope with life, that can handle all the pressures that life throws at you. Because life is going to throw a lot at you. Oh yes. If you've grown a lot older than like I have, you've been through so much already. And that's why I can sit here and share with you the things I have experienced. You know what I always say, if you're used to this channel, I spent half of my life in Africa and I've spent another half sitting here in the UK. So I can put two continents together from my experiences. And then of course I travel the world. Far Asia, America, you name it. I've been these places and I have accumulated so much experiences from these places that I've put together, weave them together. Knowledge, books, schooling, workshops, events, all these things add up to create this person that you're seeing. So that's why I come here to share with you things. Because I know the journey is not easy. I know the journey of life is not as everybody is out there making it look like. You know, especially with the social media that we deal with, and you know, especially for young people. You see these people look so glamorous, so beautiful, so, oh, look at that dress, look at that shoe, look at their hair, look at their skin. And you're thinking, yes, I want all of that. But to get there takes work. To get there takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of time. And the big message that comes out of today's is that journey that we're all on, it is different for every one of us. And the question I was going to ask you is, have you ever wondered why some things are happening for some people and it's not happening for you? And sometimes what people say is, oh my gosh, I've done everything possible to achieve that thing. That person is just getting like that. How is that possible? Have you ever wondered why? Some of the things that bother you, that really bothers you, like you wake up really angry, something happened in the news and you're so wound up, or a friend told you something, oh my gosh, and you see a picture and you cringe. And another person sees and is like, yeah, what is that? So what? Have you ever wondered why that is the case? It is what it is because we are all different. It is what it is because our journeys are different. I mean, simple things like in a home. And then let's say you have kids. And when you're going to find out, sometimes your kids are the clean ones around you. They want to clean up everything as it's happening. Well, you don't give to. So, in your home, your kids are the ones who are so clean and looking after everything and you don't care. Or the other way around. You're the one who pick up everything, arrange things the way it should be done, and your kids don't care. Or you're the one who loves shoes. The minute you see shoes, you go crazy. Or you're the one who you have it for handbags. The minute you see handbag, I must have that handbag. Or you're the one who loves a certain kind of music and oh wow, that music pulls something out of my soul. Or you know, these are uniquenesses. They're unique things that makes you who you are. And so if you really take your time, this is a message for you now. The minute you finish listening to this video, make it your business to look around people you're with. Begin to pick out these things because it's there. Every one of us is different. Your husband's interest is in things you have no interest. The things you're interested are in things that your husband doesn't want to know about. Your best friend's interest is not connecting with yours. And so this is happening for obvious reasons. We're not meant to be the same. We're not meant to be the same. Your children are different. You are different. Your parents were different. But you see, it could go wrong when we begin to expect. Remember, we talked about expectation. But why are they not understanding the fact that this is who I am and be like me? This is where it goes wrong. Everyone around you should be like you. It goes wrong that way. So the journeys we are on are for reasons. God sent us here with unique messages, unique missions to go and deal with different things. That's what we're here for. When you read this book, Conversations with God, you begin to see some of these things. We're individually here on different journeys. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because our journey starts whenever it started with our parents giving birth to us, and then we arrive here on earth, and then we start dealing with life. The day that journey will be done, none of us know. None of us know. But what then happens is, for most of us, sometimes we actually do connect with people. We actually do meet people that our spirits begin to connect. That while we may have different areas where we don't connect, there may be areas where we do connect. And then we get attached. We get attached. And when we get attached, we then begin to see that person as the lifeblood of who we are. This happens a lot. That person becomes our lifeblood. And then what then happens is when that person's journey is done. Remember, we are all here on a journey. When that person's journey is done and the person is left us, we become broken. We become broken. So that's the big message today. We need to wake up to that realization that we all have different journeys. And if we have connected here, if we have interacted here, if we have found something that makes me and you feel good around each other, enjoy that time. Enjoy that process. Enjoy that connection for as long as it lasts. Because you will be surprised too. Even if the journey is not up to the point where that person's journey is over and they've left the planet of the earth or the earth, that journey may end too, in the sense where you suddenly wake up one morning and say, oh, you did this to me and that person, the other day you did this and you did that. Okay, that's it. I'm not talking to you anymore. You don't. And then you become enemies, as some people would say. It doesn't mean anything. Even if you don't become enemies, maybe you just grow apart. People grow apart. So it could have been when you were young, oh, we were the best friends when we were young. We couldn't do without each other. We used to go to each other's house and eat. And then suddenly life has happened. They go this way and you go that way. And you suddenly say to yourself, oh my gosh, I'm going to die because they've left town. No. The message is, begin to realize it today that everybody's journey is different. So you came together, you got married, you had kids. Your children will grow up. They will go on their journey of life. Your husband will grow. He will be who he is meant to be. Your wife will grow. She will be who she's meant to be. And so, instances when we actually do get so wound up with each other. And you know what this does to us really, most times? It breaks our spirit. It really breaks our spirits. We get entangled. Recently somebody used that word. We get entangled with people in such a way that when that entanglement is over, we now think, oh my gosh, I've lost everything. How could we possibly lose everything? There's a video coming up. Would you open yourself up again for understanding? Because that spirit in you, that uniqueness that makes you who you are, that thing that we breathe in and out, the way that nobody can touch that air that we breathe, that being that makes you wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night, that allows you to stretch your hand and stretch your feet and be you, that spirit, that soul, nobody can access that thing. That thing is untouchable. That thing is unstoppable. So when we begin to allow the interactions we have on this earth to hold our spirit down and we get lost, I mean, you hear people say, that one is lost. That one's mental sense is gone. That one's spirit is gone. We allow that to happen to us because we did not protect our mess. We didn't protect our mentality. We didn't protect our emotional strength. We didn't protect our spiritual strength. And so we allow the physicalness of life. And I'm telling you, when I'm telling you this, I'm not telling you because it's only in human form, like my best friend, my best. We do it to even objects. People will go, I wanted to buy the latest iPhone, but I don't have money to buy the iPhone. Oh my gosh, my world has come to an end. And they actually break down over. They didn't get the latest iPhone. People want a handbag. I want the latest Louis Vuitton bag. Or I want the latest, what are these names? DKNY. They're there. And so we get fixated. We get attached. There are people out there that if it's not the latest car, they shouldn't see them driving. And so when you attach yourself to things like this, and you connect your spirit to that thing, what happens is when you lose that thing, your spirit get lost. So that's what the message is saying. That spirit in you is on a journey. And that spirit is not attached to anything else. That spirit is here on a mission to do something for the furtherance of God's life, for the furtherance of the earth, for the beauty of the world, to create a better world. Because there's a mission that makes you who you are. That greatness that I'm trying to pull out of you, that's who you are. Not attachment to things, not attachment to people. Because when we're talking about losing people, which I don't know, for my sake, so many things happened to me that maybe the whole idea was to get me on this path that I'm on, this journey that I'm on, sharing messages of empowerment. Right from when I was young. From a childhood, I lost my mom. So I never got attached to a mom. And then along the way, lots of moms came along. Stepmom, sister-in-law, you name them. And in my little expectation mode, as I'm talking about expectation, none of these people met my expectation of what a mom should have been. And now, I would have been held back with those. But no, I realized at a young age that, you know what? Get on with it. And so I got on with it. And then as I'm getting older and I'm interacting with friends, and again expectation comes in, and I realize my friends are not meeting my expectation. And so I pulled out. And so I'm not getting attached to any friends. And this is carrying on into marriage, into having children, I don't sit here and I have expectations of my children. Because when you do that, what happens is you attach. When you attach, what happens? Then you turn around and you say, you disappointed me. Why? Because you have expectations. And so once you put expectation in front of you, what will automatically happen is disappointment. And then I've had people ask me, how do you cope? How do you carry on so well? Oh, you never look like you have issues. Oh yeah, I do them. And there's another video where I'm going to explain some of the things that happen with us, where we have what we call, the sunny days of our lives and the dark days of our lives. But I do not let these things hold me down. And that's why I can come and share things with you. Because I've experienced these things. So that knowledge that if you do not attach, you'll be better off. It's a big message that all of us need to take on. Because your mission is between you and your Creator. That's a big message. The mission you have here on earth, the journey you're on this earth, is between you and your Creator. The Creator that sent you here. Your mission is not attached to your parents, it's not attached to your husband, not attached to your wife, to your children, to your best friend, to your job, to your business, to your fancy cars and fancy home and fancy gadgets. That's not our mission. These things are just there to aid us, to support us, to, excite us for a period. And when it's done, it's done. But that mission should never be forgotten. The mission of you and your journey. Because I know so many people who get so attached that when that relationship is done, and when I'm saying relationship, I don't mean husband and wife only. Relationship of any form. Friendship, children, husband, wife, relatives. When that one little thing breaks, they are broken. They are broken. Because you attach too much. And then you break your spirit from the main journey it came for. Learn to know that your journey is different from the other person. And this is why, especially with children, most times as parents, what we tend to do, we think we know better than they do. Oh, but you ought to have, you should have, you must. I know so many parents who force their children to do what their children don't want to do. And most times they create this big enmity between themselves and their children. Because they've taken on, you practically as a parent want to take on your child's journey. Just because it's a child doesn't mean that you know better than them. No. And that's why, I tell you, that's why a child, most times when a mother just has a baby and the mother leaves, that child, a child who lost a mother at childbirth survives. Have we ever asked why or how? Never sucked breast for one day and that child survives. Because there's something greater. The greater mission is you and that connection between your Creator. So the message here is to strengthen you and empower you to know that no matter what is happening out there, no matter the relationships you've created in your life, yes, they are there to support you and be with you. But if for any reason it breaks, let it not be what breaks you. Let it not be what breaks you. Why? Because your mission is different. Because your journey is different. The story I was saying to you about my experiences, I lost so many relatives along the way. So many. And it's come to my realization that the messages that they've gone doesn't mean I should be broken from it. No. I remember them for the greatness they were, for the amazing people they were in my life. They contributed in every form they could at the time they were here. But now they've gone. I'm not going to go to God and say, but why? Why did you allow this to happen? Because I'm not God. I don't know how God created that person and put that person in my life in the first place. So it is not our job to worry about what we've lost, to get so carried away with what we've lost. Because what is coming is what our mission is. If you wake up every day and you see yourself still here, that's what I do with myself. Oh, I'm still here. Yes, baby. Yes. A day for another job. A day for another mission. A day to carry on. That's what this message is about. It's for you to know that if you have lost something, it was the way it was meant to be. That journey of that person is done. They only are answerable to their Creator. You are answerable to your Creator. I am answerable to my Creator. And so each of us have to carry on taking our mission seriously, our individual mission seriously. I mean, whenever I have to do, right now, I get lots of people reach out to me. Can we work on something together? Can we collaborate on this? Can I pick your brain on this one? Can I work with you on this? I don't say no, depending on what it is that I'm dealing with. If it's something I could handle, I'm more than excited to handle it. Why do I do it? It's probably part of my mission. And once I've done it, it's done. And I move on. And I carry on with the next journey. Because my journey was meant to touch each of these people. My journey was meant to touch each of these places. So I do not sit back and I say, oh, they came into my life because they needed something and now they've got what they wanted. Now they moved on. They've abandoned me. No, I don't do that. I just deal with things as it comes. Because I know that for you to have reached out to me, there must have been a reason. When I'm done, when whatever that thing is done, God created that moment for both of us to connect for a reason, and now that job is done. I would love it to carry on, but if it's not meant to carry on, then that's it. No problem. No, how did I say? No emotions lost. No mental health issues taken on. No pain. No questions. Just let it go. And if you do that, trust me, you're going to begin to expand yourself for bigger things. You're going to begin to expand yourself for greater things. You're going to begin to understand that your mission in life is not attached to anything. You're going to live a freer, happier life. Because the message here is for us to remain positive. Now, what creates problems in lives? Negativity. What creates negativity? Pain. Something that doesn't meet your expectation. Something that is not the way you wanted it. It should have been this way. Why is it that way? It should. Then you begin to question and question and question. Now, all of that add up to this massive negativity. And once you find yourself being more and more negative, guess what happens? You become bitter. You become upset. You become wound up. And then you start hearing people going into depression. And all the negatives begin to happen. Because what then happens is you begin to spiral down. Spiral down. That's not where we want you to be. We want you to rise up, to get better, to become greater, to become bigger. Because I know these things happen. I have experienced it. I have seen it. I mean, when I took on working with hair and sharing my skills and knowledge with people, the assumption was, oh yeah, just get on with it and get rich. And no. You cannot get rich mindset is not clear. You cannot get rich if your thinking is not clear. And trust me, I watch especially young people. Ask any, I'm going to be famous, and I'm going to be so rich, and I'm going to be, and I'm going to be. Yes. But for you to get there, the first place you need to work on is your mind. The first places you need to work on is your emotions. The first things you need to work on is understand your spiritual strength. What makes you who you are. And that who you are is what's going to guide you through life. So one of the things I will talk about, because I know if I go into this one right now, it's going to drag us for too long, is what I call protect your mess. And protecting your mess is going to be a video I'll bring out one of these days. Because the minute you understand how to hold your mental health in place, your emotional health in place, your spiritual health in place, you have opened the doors to a greater you. You have opened the doors to a brighter you. You have opened the doors to a successful you. And that's where I come in. And that's what I want to see with every one of you who follow us on this channel. Because one of the really great things I always like to connect with the Bible, you know, when Jesus was young and he and his parents, I think they went to Jerusalem to get things going, and then the parents, they finished what they went for and they were going home, and they usually moved in crowds. And so young Jesus, I think he was just about 12, and they were going. Jesus didn't go with them. The parents didn't know. And so halfway they realized that Jesus wasn't with them. Oh my gosh, panic. And so they had to return back to Jerusalem. And then they found him in the temple teaching. So the mom was really concerned, you know, a typical mom. Son, why didn't you tell us? You didn't see us going? What happened? And Jesus replied and said, my parents are the people who listen to me. Yeah, so Jesus explained that, you know, my parents are people who listen to me, people who hear the things I talk about, people who follow my footsteps. And that was such a profound message. Because you see, while we are all on this journey, it's not all your children that are going to follow your footsteps. It's not your husband that will follow what you are saying. It's not your wife that will hear everything you say. It's not your best friends, your relatives. No, everybody, like we've just explained, is on their own journey. But you see, the people that will pick up, the people that you will connect with, are the people who are listening to you. People who are following the things you're talking about. People who kind of find you, the messages you share with them, useful. And there's a nice book I have on that. And this Monday, he calls it Tribes. It's here somewhere. Oh yeah, there it is. Tribes. Tribes is just talking about how, if you go out to a place, and suddenly you begin to connect with a certain set of people there, what made that happen? What made you connect with these few people? What made these people follow you? What made these people think you are the person they want to connect with? It happens in the world. Not everybody in your vicinity, not everybody that's connected to you by blood will connect to you by emotions, will connect to you by the way you see things. So we need to know that. And this is all down to this journey that is all separate. So once we can clear understanding that not everybody around us will be our tribe, not everybody around us will connect with us, you will find that peace of mind that you've always lacked. Seriously, this happens. Most people sit up all night because their husband don't connect with them. Most people sit all night because their wife is not thinking like them. Their children don't hear what they're saying. Their relatives are not talking to them. Their best friends is giving them grief. You sit down, you worry, and you get into a depression, you get into a state, you get into problems, you begin to mess around with your mental health, you begin to have problems. These are the things stopping you. These are the things stopping your progress. These are the things stopping your success. These are the things stopping your greatness. Because your own journey is being interfered with. So you need to come out of it. You need to find peace. You need to find happiness. You need to find that love that makes you who you are. And once you can get that, nothing will stop your greatness. Nothing will stop you want to be a celebrity, you want to be famous, you want to be... Once your peace of mind is there, once your heart is clear, once your life is open, you know how they say, even the sky will not be your limit. So I'm going to stop here today because you know what I'm like. I like to share with you, but I don't want to push it too much. I'm taking so much of your time. So as usual, if you find this message useful, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel so you get to know more of what we do. Click that notification bell so it tells you once we've uploaded, because now we upload every week. New message every week. And then of course follow us on all our social media platforms, because there's so much we like to share with you, to pull you out, to bring that greater you out. So we're going to look forward to seeing you in the next video, and God bless you as always. Thank you.